name is Alan. Of course, you guys already know that. So yes, I know this video is 3 days late, but that's my fault. Well, kind of not. I was actually busy this weekend. Again, why am I always busy on the weekends? Weekends, you should be taking your time off, but again, I'm busy. But this week, you're not only getting 1, you're not only getting 2, you're not only getting 3, you're getting 4 reviews this week. 2 of the reviews are completely different movies that, they're kind of important this month. So, yeah, just saying. But you're getting a review of Halloween 3 and Halloween 4 this week. And today is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So let's go ahead and cut right to the chase and review this black sheep of the series. Yay, we've gotten to this one. So Halloween 3 Season of the Witch stars Tom Atkins and Stacey Nelkin and is directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, the production designer and editor of the first Halloween film. John Carpenter does return, however, to helm the script once again and also helps Alan Howarth with the score yet again. And John Carpenter would not come back to do the score for any of the sequels after this until the 2018 movie and the 2 films following that. Yay! Hospital emergency room Dr. Daniel Chalice and Ellie Grimbridge, the daughter of a murder victim, uncover a terrible plot by small-town mask maker Colonel Cochran, a madman who's planning a Halloween mass murder utilizing an ancient Celtic ritual. The ritual involves a boulder stolen from Stonehenge, the use of Silver Shamrock masks, and a triggering device contained in a television commercial, all designed to kill millions of children. So, Halloween 3. We've gotten to this one. Very early on, we are on the black sheep of the Michael Myers franchise, because guess what? This is the only film of the franchise to not have Michael Myers. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, they actually did it. They made a Halloween movie without Michael Myers. Just a completely different plot. Although Michael Myers does make a TV cameo in a commercial for the first movie, and a scene at a bar that Tom Atkins is in. Yeah, Michael Myers does have a slight cameo. And Dick Warlock plays one of the robots in this film, so yeah, spoilers. Yeah, this movie is almost 40 years old, so I'm going to be spoiling this one. So, well, not that much. I won't be giving too much away, but I'll spoil a few things. Yes, the bad guys in this movie, most of them are robots. Colonel Cochran's the main bad guy, of course, but still. But yeah, Dick Warlock plays one of them. He came back from the second movie where he played Michael Myers. So yeah, of course he did. But other than that, and a Jamie Lee Curtis phone cameo, no Michael Myers. You have no serial killer chasing down babysitters or chasing down baby sister, because yeah, that totally happened, and that's totally how it always was in the first 2 movies, right? Totally, right. But yes, Halloween 3, the one without Michael Myers. A lot of people love it, most people hate it. Remember, this movie was very hated when it came out like 39 years ago. This movie was hated. But people have come around to it recently and have said this is one of the best ones. I'm actually on that bandwagon. Yeah, you heard me. I love Halloween 3. I won't be giving away my exact placement of this film in my ranking, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a bit of a hint. This is in my top 5 of the franchise. So, be looking forward to the ranking, because yes, I'm doing yet another ranking after Halloween Kills comes out. Be looking forward to it. But yes, this is one of my favorites. Most definitely. I love this movie. I loved it upon first viewing. And really wish I was like born in the 70s and I'd be seeing this movie in the theaters. I would have loved it. Would have loved it upon first viewing. Just like I did here. This movie's great. And there's a lot of things I love about it. So let's go ahead and get into the positives, I guess. First off, probably my main positive of Halloween 3. The premise. The premise is very original. It's an anthology film, of course. This was supposed to become an anthology series after Halloween 2 came out. But although I do think they should have started it with the second movie, I do believe that this is a very original style premise for a Halloween movie. Masks killing little kids because of Stonehenge. It's very unique. This is a unique premise. And although there are a couple plot holes, I will admit, I won't be getting into it with my negatives, but yes, I will admit there's a couple plot holes, like how did they get the Stonehenge there all the way from Ireland to California, but whatever, let's ignore it for now. The premise in and of itself is great. It's very messed up, it's very creepy, and Yeah, it's basically kids getting killed. You rarely see it happen, but here it happens. There are kids that get killed in this movie, and it's disturbing to watch. I don't like seeing little kids get killed. Well, except for that one little buddy guy. Yeah, he was annoying as heck. So I was glad that he and his parents died. They were all annoying, but I really love the premise of Halloween 3. It's one of the best premises of the franchise, and it's the most unique out of all of them. It's not just some guy running around in a mask and killing people like in the first movie. It's actually a very thought out premise of a guy creating masks and using an ancient Celtic ritual going back to the Celtic era where Halloween was all about sacrifices and stuff. It's going back to that. And I'm like, we need this. We need this. A Halloween movie that goes back to the roots of Halloween and how it was before now, when it's all just about trick-or-treating and getting candy and dressing up in costumes and going to parties and stuff, which, I've never been to a single Halloween party in my life, but you get the picture. But I love the premise of this movie. That's all I'll say. Next up, I love Tom Atkins. He's very good in this movie. He does a very good job of playing a drunken doctor, trying to figure out the mystery of who is murdering these people. And what's the mystery behind these masks? Why are these masks so popular? Like, what's going on at this company? What's going on at Silver Shamrock? Like, I love his performance in this movie. It's actually kind of subtle. It's a subtle performance. I've always loved Tom Atkins, but he's amazing in this movie. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I really like this guy. He does great in horror movies, but I know I still haven't seen The Fog. Kind of biased when I say that. But still, you know what I'm talking about. He's also a guy who just wants to sleep with women all the time. It's very funny. I know. People have probably been there before, so yeah. Men have probably been there before. I'm not hating on y'all. Just saying you guys could probably relate to this guy. But I really like him. He's actually kind of funny in this movie. Tom Atkins is funny in anything. And you get, of course, the iconic mustache. Tom Atkins always has that mustache, so it's funny, you know. But I really like him in this movie. You root for him. You want him to make it out of this. You want him to figure out the mystery of what's behind Silver Shamrock and what's really going on behind the scenes. You want him to figure it out in the midst of all this chaos. You want him to figure it out. You root for him the whole movie. And yeah, that's another reason why I like this movie so much. Next up, I'm just going to let you guys know right now. It does not have to be a Michael Myers movie to be good. I know they should have never called it Halloween 3. But it doesn't have to be a Michael Myers movie every single time, okay? I know I hate, this is kind of like what I'm saying about the Friday the 13th movies. I used to hate on part 5, but now that I'm reflecting on it, although the twist sucks and they should have gotten someone else to be the killer instead of, I won't spoil it for you. If you still haven't seen Friday 5, still, I'll just tell you Jason's not the killer. It's someone else. But it doesn't have to be Jason all the time. The only thing they got wrong with that is, yeah, it's like the least obvious guy you would think is the killer. Or to some people, it's the most obvious person. So, well, to me, it was pretty obvious. When you rewatch it and you see all the signs, you're like, yeah, he's definitely the killer. But yeah, it doesn't have to be Jason every time. Look what happened with the first movie. So for this one, doesn't have to be a Michael Myers movie. It doesn't have to be Michael killing people for 90 minutes. Although I'm very looking forward to having that happen in Halloween Kills. I just think it's going to be Michael killing people for like 2 hours. Which, I need that. I need that this year. I need it. But it doesn't have to be a Michael Myers movie all the dang time, guys. Just saying. Bottom line. It does not have to be a Michael Myers movie 24/7 to be good. My opinion. You have yours. I have mine. End of story. Once again, gonna mention the score by Carpenter and Howarth. Great. Very underrated score. Probably my the most underappreciated horror score ever. People think the score is annoying. I don't. That's my opinion. I think the score is pretty haunting and it's very, very awesome to listen to. People find the Silver Shamrock Mask theme song to be Very irritating to listen to. I love it. It's a song that's always stuck in your head. You can never get out of it. Happy, happy Halloween. Okay, Adeline, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Gotta do it, okay? Don't get distracted by singing that. Like, there was a point in time a couple years ago when I'd be singing that song over and over again for days because I couldn't get it out of my head. But it's a great song. It's very good. I love the Silver Shamrock commercial. It's great. But the real score of this movie by Carpenter and Howarth is very good. I'm a very big fan of the score. It's a very unique score for a horror movie. It's actually kind of upbeat at times, but it's also pretty creepy and very ominous, especially in the opening credits. Very, very atmospheric, and I really love it because Carpenter, yeah, that's what Carpenter does best in his horror movies. He does deliver on that score, and I'm proud of him for that. Final positive, the twist. It's very predictable, sure. You kind of know. You kind of know these masks are killing kids. You don't know why yet, but you know they're killing kids, and that's basically the twist. Colonel Cochran just wants to kill children. He just wants to get rid of them. And you know this. It's very obvious, but it's a very disturbing twist, because who would want to kill kids? Who want to kill kids, right? Yeah, I may come across the type of person that hates kids, but I kind of don't. Sometimes I do, because they're annoying, but I do love kids, okay? But I hate seeing kids die in horror movies, and there are particular death scenes in modern horror nowadays where little kids are murdered, aka Georgie from It, Beau from A Quiet Place. Like, I don't like seeing little kids get killed on screen in horror movies, but there are a few exceptions, like little Buddy in this movie. His death was satisfying, trust me. Love that death scene. And I'm glad his parents died too, because they were probably even more annoying. Why did you introduce some of the most annoying characters in your horror movie? Screw you, John Carpenter, because you're the one who wrote this movie. Why did you bring in annoying characters? Well, you probably did because you wanted them to die even more after you saw them. So yeah, the twist and the ending, very haunting. It's kind of like the first movie. It's ambiguous, but you can kind of understand what happens. But I won't say anything. I will leave the ending non-spoiled for you. But for all you horror fans out there who love this movie, you kind of know what I'm talking about. At least I hope so. Only have one mixed aspect of this movie, and I'm just not really going to waste any time telling you this. I'm just going to flat out say it. Should never have been called Halloween 3. Should have just called it Season of the Witch. Name the Season of the Witch, bookend it, move on your way. That's all. I only have 2 negatives with this movie, and they're not huge negatives, they're just minor nitpicks. Stacey Nelkin is great throughout the movie as Ellie Grimbridge, but there's a few scenes with her towards the beginning of the movie where she's a bit iffy. She's just a bit iffy. It's not a huge negative. She's actually very, very good throughout this movie, but there's a few scenes, classic 80s horror acting, where, yeah, it's just kind of, it's meh at the beginning, but throughout the movie she becomes very good. And it's a very good performance. She's not the regular final girl in the horror movie that constantly screams and runs away. She's actually a very strong character trying to figure out what happened to her dad, even though we all, like, what happened to him before he died, of course. She's a very unique final girl. And it's kind of shocking what happens to her towards the end, but I won't say anything. But you guys already know if you've seen this movie before, of course. So, yeah, that's all I'll say. She's great throughout the movie, but there's just a few scenes with her that are meh, kind of iffy. But throughout the movie, after that, she's great. And next, my final negative, the robots are not really intimidating. Like, they're not creepy in the slightest. They're basically Arnold from the Terminator, just not as intimidating or as terrifying as Arnold in the Terminator. Like, and this was 2 years before the Terminator even came out. What was that about? The robots are not intimidating at all. They're not scary. They're not creepy. They are like, and they can easily be taken out. Like, I'm not gonna say killed because they're robots. They can't die, but like, you could easily tear them apart and like malfunction them, of course. So yeah, like, they're not scary at all. They could easily be malfunctioned. Yeah. Although one of them was played by Dick Warlock, which was cool. Still, don't care. They're not scary. Colonel Cochrane is 100 times scarier than those guys because he kills kids. He kills kids. Why? You one messed up person. Why? Oh my god. So overall, guys, I personally think Halloween 3 is the most underrated horror movie ever. Yeah, I said it. Come at me. Go ahead. Come on, I dare you. Tell me another horror movie that's more underrated than this. Well, I could maybe name a few, but for now, this is the most underrated horror movie I've ever seen. This movie is very underappreciated. Many people hate this movie, and they shouldn't. This movie is great. This is a great film. It's a great Halloween movie. This is a great standalone entry. And again, it doesn't have to have Michael Myers in it to be a good movie. And it can have a different story. I love this movie. This is one of my absolute favorites of the franchise. This is one of my favorite sequels ever. I absolutely love Halloween 3. If you are new to the horror genre, if you're new to this franchise, if you heard horror stories about this movie being bad, don't listen to them. Watch Halloween 3. And if you have not seen Halloween 3 in a long time, ladies and gentlemen, recommend you check it out again on Halloween night. I'm going to give Halloween 3 Season of the Witch an A. Yeah, this movie is freaking fantastic. Yeah, enough said. So what do you guys think of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Let me know in the comments below. Are you a big fan of this movie? Because I've actually run into quite a few horror fans who really, really love this movie, surprisingly. Are you in the middle? Because I have seen several people who are also in the middle. Or do you hate this movie? Unfortunately, I know a few people on YouTube that hate this movie, and it's very, very upsetting. Why do you hate this movie? Why? But still, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this movie. So, be looking forward to my review of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, coming out later this week, as well as 2 reviews of 2 movies that I won't spoil coming out this week as well, after my review of Halloween 4. I bet my Halloween 4 review will probably be out tomorrow. So, be looking forward to that. So, anyway, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. So, anyways, I'm Adeline. This is Adeline's Horror World. Of course, you guys already know that. I love all you guys to death. And until next time,